In life, we have to constantly renew our labels. What does this mean? Well, it's a concept that comes from Derek Sivers, and the best way to explain it is, let's say you were a high school athlete, but then you stop playing in college and, from there. Well, you can't really claim to be an athlete if you stop playing in a high school, post high school. So this is beneficial to know that there are things in our lives that are seasonal in that way where we, are an athlete, but then once we stop, it no longer applies, right? Or there are things that we keep for the rest of our lives and so forth. And the reason this is beneficial is because we understand that we don't have to form our identity around those things. It's almost like saying we can have multiple careers, but this extends beyond just your work life, right? It can be all kinds of things. You could be, from single to married, right? As a label. You could be, not a parent to now all of a sudden being a parent and so forth, right? We adopt these new things. And I think this is key to know because so many of us, sometimes try to hold on to the glory days of something, right? Like if, we reach the pinnacle of something, right? Like we were the best host, the best actor, the best filmmaker, whatever it may be. But then, we no longer do that, whether by choice or otherwise. All of a sudden, especially if it's not by choice, then all of a sudden we get upset because we're no longer doing that thing because it's no longer, our identity. And so we have to understand that these labels come and go and it's okay to stop them. But if you want to keep being, that thing, then, let's say like an author, well, you might have authored a book, but if you're no longer writing more books, then you're technically not an author in that way, right? And so it just kind of, it works both ways, in that sense. Like you could take it as a negative, but I actually take it as a positive because it allows for fluidity in life. It allows you to switch up things as you see fit, right? This can even be applied on a microcosm. Let's say, you don't like tomatoes. Well, you don't like tomatoes today. That doesn't mean that tomorrow you can't change your mind, right? So it gives you that flexibility to change your mind in that way. And I think that's a little bit of grace that we could all deserve for ourselves and perhaps for others as well.